today is International Epilepsy Day 2024. Paddy McGagan, who's the Advocacy and Communications Manager with Epilepsy Ireland, joins me on the line, and Rachel Langan from Galway is one of the 2 recipients of their Volunteer of the Year Award for 2023. But Paddy joins me on the line for us. Paddy, morning to you.
Good morning, Keith. How are you? Good to talk to you on Epilepsy Day.
Good to talk to you again. But again, I mean, there's quite a few people affected by epilepsy.
Yeah, listen, the numbers, whenever we mention them, always seem to surprise people. Over 45,000 people living with epilepsy in Ireland. And to put that to a Galway context, we'd estimate in around 3,000 people living with epilepsy. So our message is epilepsy is much closer to home than what you might think. And that's why it's so important to be aware of it and know our kind of key message around seizure first aid, which is time, safe and stay.
And again, I mean, people can live long and fruitful lives with epilepsy.
Of course, yeah. It's very much a journey, not to downplay the impact of the condition, but it's very much a journey, and it's a very much an individual condition. People, as they progress through their life, can face challenges as a result of epilepsy, but equally, as you say, they can live full and happy lives as well. And I suppose that's what we're there for, to help provide people with support and information on their journeys with epilepsy. But a key part of that is the public learning more about the condition, understanding it, and sorting the myths from the facts as well. So that's why days like today are very, very important, to learn more and understand the condition, and to have people like Rachel, who's on with you there, to share their lived experience of epilepsy.
Rachel does sit opposite to you. Rachel, morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us today. Again, your congratulations first on Rachel Langan. You're one of 2 recipients of the Volunteer of the Year Award. That was a big surprise for you.
A massive surprise. Paddy sent me an email going, "Congrats, you've been nominated." And then he rang me going, "We've chosen you." It was a big shock.
And Paddy, why was she chosen?
Yeah, listen, Rachel was chosen because she absolutely deserved it, number one. But last year, there was a major breakthrough in terms of one of our long-standing advocacy campaigns, which was to establish a deferred sitting of Leaving Cert exams for students with epilepsy who may experience a seizure during their exams that prevents them from finishing it. Now, historically, what happened in that situation was that students had to wait a year until resitting the exam, which was awful for people. Now, where Rachel comes into this is that she unfortunately experienced a seizure during her exam in 2022, and was kind of impacted by the fact that she couldn't resit it. Rachel realised that it was wrong and knew that we were campaigning on it, and very, very bravely started speaking out about her individual experience. Spoke to the Irish Times, spoke to RT Drive Time, to get the message out there. And it very much was a catalyst to finally getting that campaign over the line. So what Rachel did has potentially, improved the lives of future generations of people with epilepsy, young people with epilepsy. So like kids sitting the exam this year do not have that worry that Rachel had, and will not hopefully have that experience that Rachel had. It has made accommodations for people now in the future. So I think that shows in itself why Rachel was named our Volunteer of the Year for last year.
And what exam were you sitting as a student?
My Leaving Cert history exam. So it was really important to me. History's been my favourite subject since I was tiny, and I've gone on to study. I'm currently doing a Bachelor of Arts in History and Archaeology.
Good on you. I love history as well. I do. There's something about it.
It's a fascinating subject, and I think that there needs to be more focus put on learning from the past so we can not make the same mistakes in the future. And
do your friends understand epilepsy? Do they understand that you're just a normal person?
Yes, they've been amazing. One of my closest friends, Sandra, she was the first person that I told outside of my family, and she went, "Not to worry, I'm going to research everything." So she researched everything. She was like, I know this is a great website, Epilepsy Ireland, have a look at it. And she is currently studying medicine, but she's just been so incredibly supportive. They all have been.
Isn't it great though to have a friend like that? Because mom and dad and brothers and sisters and uncles and aunts and far-flung relations can tell you everything and anything, but when you have a friend like that in your corner, it's great.
It was amazing. She's been so supportive the whole time.
Yeah. And are you proud of what you've done by getting the reset of the exams following your 2022 episode. But I shouldn't call them episodes, but I call them episodes, sorry, because we have it in our own family. But are you proud then of what you've done, that others don't have to worry if something happens?
I am, but it was when I did it, it was thinking about other people in the school and their worries and their fears of what if this happens to me.
Yeah, which is a big what.
Yes, a massive what if, and very much a scare.
Yeah.
And this, like, hovering over you, what if this happens? What if, like, what am I going to do?
And like, some people are so, and Paddy, your mic is open there, some people are so stupid, like, you don't bring it on yourself, this happens.
Yes.
And I call them episodes, I don't know why I call them episodes, but episodes happen. When episodes happen, it's not your fault.
No, and I think that's massively misunderstood. When the SEC was contacted by the invigilator of my exam, they were kind of like, oh well, this is kind of her fault, was the impression that we were getting in the school in the exam. It's kind of like, we can't do anything. It's like, she has a condition, get over it, kind of a...
I'd have lost the plot altogether.
Oh well.
I know you wouldn't, because you're too much of a lady to do that. That's why you got the Volunteer of the Year award. But Paddy, there you have the education process for the public is something that really needs to be stepped up maybe more.
Yeah, certainly, and I suppose like it's why we have days like International Epilepsy Day. It's why we have Rachel on talking about her lived experience, because it helps. It's so much more powerful hearing from people who have the direct experience. But what we would say as well is that it literally only takes 5 minutes today to go onto our website to learn more about practical information such as seizure first aid, and the time safe stay message, and just general information about epilepsy. As I say, it's an incredibly common condition. What people don't realise as well is the fact you can be diagnosed with epilepsy at any stage of life. So it is information that you need to know, and it's very, very important given the sheer numbers of people who are living with epilepsy.
Rachel, when were you diagnosed, can I ask you?
I was diagnosed in early July of 2021. I was 17, coming back from family holiday down in Kerry, and I had a seizure in the car, and I was brought to Limerick Hospital, where they went, oh, she's after having a stroke.
Wow.
Yeah. So... frightening
on your family.
Terrifying. It terrified my two younger siblings, and my mother. And I was in hospital for 4 nights in Limerick.
And had you nothing up to that?
Nothing before. Nothing at all.
Wow. So 2021 was a changing time for you.
It really was. I was going into Leaving Cert, and we thought, okay, maybe this is a one-off. We didn't know exactly what had happened. So then in late September, I had another seizure, and I had to be brought to Galway University Hospital by ambulance. And I was in there for a few days, and I had seizures in there, but they didn't know. They were very unwilling to diagnose it as epilepsy. And then early October, I had another episode and had to be brought again to University Hospital Galway, where they went, okay, yeah, it's an official diagnosis of epilepsy.
Wow. So then you were put on, are you on medication, Lamictal now?
Yeah, Lamictal and Keppra.
Yeah, so you're on the two of them, so
yes. Yeah.
And is it keeping them at bay?
It is. It's finally kind of started to kick in. So I've gone the longest without a seizure. It's coming up on 3 months now.
Good.
So it's looking optimistic, but keeping in mind that another episode could happen.
So another 3 months and you could be driving?
No, it has to be a year first.
A year, I know, yeah. 6 months. Is it 12 months? Sorry, yeah. 12 months for that. She really is an inspiring person that she should be pushing out further.
Oh, of course, yeah. And something else we haven't mentioned is that Rachel, we had the International Epilepsy Congress in Dublin last year. Huge international event, over 4,000 medical professionals. But we also had a public-facing aspect to the Congress, and we had a youth summit for for young advocates with epilepsy from all across the globe. Rachel was one of 8 Irish delegates there. And yeah, Rachel's just getting started in this world of advocacy and awareness. Whether she knows it or not, I'm going to be on to her about different bits and pieces. And yeah, she's an incredible supporter and advocate for epilepsy awareness. And the more people like her, obviously, the more education, the more awareness we have of the condition, the more it becomes destigmatized and almost normalized, which is, so important.
Absolutely. I think the most important thing is if they go to your website, then Epilepsy Ireland, they can get the full details there. But I think people need to educate themselves. I think educators need to educate themselves. I think those that invigilate at some of these exams need to educate themselves as well. But Paddy, thanks for joining us. But further details can be had from Epilepsy Ireland.
Keith, can I just say before we end, it might potentially be the last time I'm chatting to you before you finish up. Just to say thanks a million for giving us a platform over the years. It's been fantastic. So all the best for the future.
Listen, we have between now and the 12th of April. We'll have a cup on taste, so we will. Don't worry about it. Paddy McGagan, thanks for joining us. Rachel, will you keep doing what you're doing?
Absolutely.
You carry the flame for epilepsy for young people. You're an inspiration, so thank you for being you. Thanks for popping into us today.
My pleasure.
And again, that's Rachel Langan from Galway, one of the 2 recipients of the Volunteer of the Year Award for 2023.